Alrighty, Handyman Lou here. This time we're doing some old time beach cruiser or depot bike, whatever way you all want to call it. Old school. I mean, this bike is old. The guy wants a motor on it, and it's a female bike. Well, we're going to do it. Stay tuned. Of course, you know what I got to do now. With the stupid sprocket and chain guard on. This old school depot bike. Oh, I see, they double nut it. They put two nuts on this thing, one on the fender, one on the, so I'm going to need a tray for this for sure. One nut on the fender, move fender part number one, move fender part number two. You can tell these are old school stuff. And there's a washer locking this one in. So, here we go. Fender number one, fender number two. Don't know what these guys had in mind. Phillips screwdriver, loosen up the brake. And readjust this thing because these guys put it on the wrong way. It doesn't hold off the bike at all. So let's do it the right way. Let me see, is it a number? This is number 3. I bet you it's a number 4. Oopsie daisy. Number 4. We'll worry about that later. Oh, yeah. Sorry. There we go. And on this bike, let's put you across the table over there. You have to remove this nut, the brake bar, in order for you to get the rim in there, the sprocket. So you further remove the nut over there. Then the nut underneath that is a whole different size. It's 11. Here. That is a 5/8. That was not good. Alright. So let me show you what I did here. This bike right here is so old school that they don't even come with a flange on the inside of this where this can more or less line up. It's not perfectly even. So the gasket, the original part of the gasket, which is, this is what I did. The original part of the gasket, even if I put it on there, it probably wouldn't line up right. Like it might be cattywampus. So I caught the rubber thing in complete half. So this is what came out. You know, it's not going to be perfect. You got to take your time. You cut your fingers off, whatever. Don't do that. And this side now has a very, very thin part of it on this side. So I did that on purpose so that when I squeeze this here rubber together with the rim, hopefully I'll be able to put the brake on there. That's the whole purpose of me doing it. I was worrying that the little caster brake would not fit back on. You know, it has that little slot in it. So I cut the rubber in half. We're going to see how that works out. So this is actually the first time I had to do that. Actually cut a rubber in half. On the inside, I left the full size. The one benefit of cutting rubber in half is that these things just go right on now. These washers and nuts. Plenty of room. Slipping out of my hand. There we go. Trying to set it up straight. There we go. There we are. Starting the next bracket. And make sure you can move this around easily, since there's nothing to guide you there. And the next bracket, I mean, is this bracket. It's got 3 holes for the bracket. Some of them, you get one that has 5 holes in it, and the other 4 on the other half of it. It was a little bit weird, but it worked just as well. Some manufacturers, they give you 2 brackets instead of 3 of them. One of the brackets has 5 holes, and the other bracket has 4 holes. So, should be without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. You're really going to have to watch when you tighten this one down that it stays centered. From the stud. Because now you're going to have to rely on the stud for this to be centered. Anyway, I'm starting on my last bracket. Chewy has not come in and inspected yet. He'll be here. Chewy has a mind of his own. He won't, you know, he'll come to you when you call him, but a lot of times he's like a cat. You know what I mean? You know how cats are, finicky. They got a mind of their own. Well, that's the way he is. I didn't call him, he probably won't come in there. But that's the reason why I love the dog so much, because he is a self-independent dog, very independent. Very smart. Eat when he wants to eat. I can put the food out there, he ain't eating. He's not like every other dog that'll rush over there and devour it. He'll just wait till he's ready when hungry. Problem is having two dogs. One dog will freaking devour the whole damn meal and then go to the other dog's bowl, devour that meal. So you got to keep an eye on them. I got to keep an eye on the meals. And they take turns doing that. One dog will say, okay, I'm hungry today. So if I ain't watching, they'll eat both bowls when I turn my back. And the other dog does it in turn on their day. But that means more dog food for me. I don't, I got dry dog food out there all the time. They don't eat that all the time, but they do eat it. I have that little Caesar's crap. And that stuff, man, is $24 a box. And you're not even getting a whole month's supply of it. You're getting what is it, 24. I feed them twice a day. Once in the morning, once in the evening. And then I start all over again the next day. So you're talking 24. So 7. That's about 3 weeks worth. We got 3 weeks worth of food. That's what I get out of them boxes. Every 3 weeks I gotta go buy a new box. And there's certain ones they don't like. Certain flavors. Especially Chewy, he's a very picky eater. At one time I thought there was something wrong with him. He wasn't eating at all. It's because I kept buying the same boring one that he didn't like. So then I started trying all kinds of foods. And he still wouldn't eat all those different types of foods that I was buying. Still wouldn't eat it. And then finally I got the Caesars, the right one. And there he goes. He started eating. He ate and ate and ate for 2 or 3 days. I mean, he would eat. I'm not saying he wasn't eating the ones that I got. He'd wait till the last minute to eat, to see if that other type would come out. And I got the female dog, she's new to the house. And she's doing the same thing now. She's picking up his habits. Like she'll wait all day before she tries to eat anything. Well, she's waiting on a better meal. Okay, we're starting to have movements. So we're going to have to keep it straight. I got what? I got 3 tight. 2 on one side, 1 on the opposite side. There's a perfect center. Very good. Let's go skip one. Then do the one right next to it. Two that are loose. There's one. And then I'm going to go for the final tight. There's the other one. Alright, now. Let's check for centerness. Perfect. Maybe it needs a little bit this way. That's about right. Now we're going for the final, I hope. it works. Because you remember I had another two ring was giving me a problem. It kept going off center. It was the damn aluminum piece that came with it. They kept making it go off center. Let's see. I'm going to just look at this real quick. Perfect. Let me get on top. We're getting there. That's, sorry about the background noise. That's my neighbor in the yard. They're at their own place. Can't do nothing about that. He's arguing with his son. So can't. It's part of living in the city, buddies. People have to live with the neighbors. It's not, you know. Can't do nothing about it. That's the American way. People are like this today. They have no respect for each other, or the children don't have respect for the adults, and now they don't even have respect for each other. They're killing each other. They're shooting each other up. I'm from Pennsylvania, remember? This is the town that the kids are all shooting each other. And we're talking about 16-year-olds shooting 16-year-olds. Innocent kids. Okay. I'll bring you right up here in a minute. That came out better than I thought. Better than the first time. Let's see. I'll bring you back over there. Yes, sir. You're good to go. And the reason why I cut this down like this is because this bracket would have not fit back there for the brakes, and that's perfect. I mean, it is more than money. I mean, pretty good, man. Look at that. Tighten this up. Pound. Well, do what? You know, something's wrong or what? Muscle than that. Let's see if I can do it with this. There we go. I'll bring the brake pad out a little bit. Got a flex to it, so yeah, we'll go. See if it's just my imagination. That needs a little more flexing. Watch it. I'm going to flex it. Yeah, it's hitting the next bolt. Ultra hard. There we go. Now we got it. Joy. This is pretty. It'll wear in. I pulled that out a lot. I hope that the it's got 15 millimeters on that. Close in. Change. Now, this guy Here we go. Let's just tighten this one up real quick. Oh, whoa. Okay, fender time. Fender bender. What the? I guess I didn't start it. Okay. Alright, I'll figure that out in a minute. Yes, I made these two big pliers here. The Phillips screwdriver and the rest. The motor's going on next. Let's see. We get all the nuts and bolts off the table here, so we can do the rest of this job. Pretty sure. Let's bring this here. these here. This is the nut and bolt brakes. I'll get them in a second. Alrighty. We're still, I'm going to flip the bike upside down. Back right side up in a minute. Right now we got to get this. Did I take these up yet? I don't remember. Getting there. We're getting there. Almost there. Quite, but almost. Trying to make the brakes fit the job. It's not working. No, that's not working that way. Maybe. Nope. Yeah, maybe it'll work that way better. Let's try this way. Got a lot more room on this side. Work like that. There. By George, I think I got it. I did tighten it up, didn't I? Yep, I did. Okay, it went on. I'm done. Alright, it's time to flip the bike over. So, the only wrench I need is this 11 3/4. Now, here's my, here's the thing. This guy, we can kick, put the kickstand out. And so like that. Thank you very much. I ain't fighting it. I'm not fighting it. Oh, I'm fighting myself. See, that's too far down. That's what I was saying about this here kickstand. It's adjustable, which is a good thing. But I don't like them because they never fit. Exactly right. Now, maybe a little bit more. I should have known better. I thought this was a metric system, but the bike is ancient. It's an old school bike. It's not. This is American size, not a friggin' standard size. So let's get the right tool for the right job. There we go. Tighten this up a little more. That's good. Feels like it wants to, you know. There we go. You're saying to yourself, how are you going to get the motor on her? Oh, Jesus. I'm about to show you. And the gas tank at the same time. Well, first we're going to put the motor on. You know, since that's absolutely necessary. And then we can see how far the tank goes. Let's see how many of these are tight. Yeah, all of them. That one's loose. That one's loose. Actually, all the nuts and bolts loose here. Some washers. On the motor mount. On this side, we have stubborn tightness. Exactly the same size, so don't worry about mixing them. Alright. What we're doing here is getting the angle right. Here we go. Maybe I'm wrong. These are wrong. How about that? When did they start doing that crap? It's a pretty decent idea. Now this thing is bottoming out. I mean bottoming out. Alright, so what we're going to do, probably going to bottom out on that. So here's what I'm going to do. Right here. A pair of scissors. Scissors in here somewhere. Are these cut? Who knows? Hell no, they ain't cutting. That's what happens when you put something in a drawer and you never use it. I'll leave them out because I believe I don't usually take this much care to do this. It's only because it has a lot of slack in it. Okay? See, now that took off the slack. Not to mention, it will also dampen the vibration on this bad boy. Now you could do this from every bike, but it's going to give you taking up some of the slack on some of these bars on them bikes. Sorry, I need to put the one on this side next before I finish talking. Let's get these on here. Come on down. Come on down here. It won't go. Now Joy! Joy! It's pretty good right there, I say. It may still bottom out on the clamp, but it's not going to move because the rubber becomes like a non-skid or non-stick type thing. Okay. Now, as you're doing this, you want to make sure you line that one up. This one especially right here has to be straight with the bar. That one doesn't matter. It could be on an angle. Let's see if I can get in here. I don't know what I did with my wobble extension. I don't remember what I did with it. But I could use it now. Is that on that one? And that is on that one. Let's see if I can get the other one to go all the way in there. This one here needs a wrench. Alright, getting tired. I believe that's tight enough. Good game. Alright, next. Yes, time. And this is the room you got. See that? Shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Joey. Joey. this bike you can go all the way to the bottom because it's such a thin tube. All of these, it's, you know, the old school thin tube type thing. I don't know who made this bike, but you know. Now on this side is where you're doing the tightening, and you don't want to go too hard on it. Watch the bracket bend, and that's the end of that. Okay, there we go. Alright, I just got it. I want to play hard ball with me. That's good enough. First time you hear it going click click, that's it. That's all you wanted to do. Now, alright, it's time to remove grips. And that's what a female bike looks like. With a motor on it. This will be my third, I think my third one I've done over the years. Been years in between each one though, like 1 or 2 years in between each bike build. So, there we go. All I need is this piece. What's left over is a washer, butt washer, lock washer, nut. These three copper looking bolts. Brass bolts. And 3 regular bolts. Clamp anything to it. What I do is how I save the bolts. Put them together. Find these. I'll just throw more there on the side. Now, what's missing is the CDI. Oh, that has its own nut and bolt on it. So this is that. We got here, this guy comes here. You're just putting on the hose. This has a natural bend in it. Let's use the natural bend. We got the filter. We need some spare hose to make it reach the carburetor. And that ought to reach the carburetor. Now we could do the throttle. I'll get rid of that thing. I trash them. I don't care anymore. Don't want them. I had so many of them. One time I think I dumped them all somewhere. My last move to this house, I dumped them all somewhere. I don't mean on the street, I mean I dumped them, I got rid of them. I put them in the trash. I have nothing to do with them. So, clutch channel. Before you put this, what you call it in here, you know what happens. You can't get it. You won't be able to get. You won't be able to get in here. So get your clutch handle in there. Somewhere around there. So you can get this in there. This handlebar, even this handlebar might be a little bit bigger than normal. Remember that sound? Old school. Alrighty then. Where left it over there? That's fine. Unnecessary. Let's see, it goes this way, and this way, that's fine. Get this guy up here. mistakes. Alright, where are you? Are you kidding me? It's not kidding me. I might have to relocate that. I feel like it's like still moving around. I don't like it. I think I got it. Alrighty. I made it. And it goes around this way. Down here, this guy down here. Got any more stuff I gotta put in there. Here's the flat, here's the lock washer I need. I need a 9/16. 4. Tightening this up in the right direction. Alright, that's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. Let's do the clutch cable first. Don't forget, put your heat spring in. That's what we should call it. It's a heat spring, plus it locks it in this area right here. Okay. And we got another spring. It's called a help to return spring. I believe what I'm going to do with this round, we're going to put all the chains on last. we're going to try to get all this on, except for chain and the brackets. Okay, that's my resolution right now. Spark plug here. I'll leave that very, very loose. And a CDI over here. Be very careful in this package. This package has little nuts and bolts on it when you can use them. In this case we can. It has the clamp, the nuts and the bolts in this little package right here. All contained in one. Where is my magnet? Alright, so we gotta bring this spark plug up. So I used the gas tank as a routing line, and also saved me some zip ties. I've already zip tied the clutch cable and the kill switch motor leads over here. And now we're getting ready to install the carburetor pieces. So in total here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. When you're putting this together. There you go. Just came out. So when it comes apart, when you're pulling it apart, there's actually 5 pieces. You put these 3 pieces back together. The bowl, the needle, the E-clip, C-clip, whatever you want to call it. Now, E-clip has a slot in it. Yep. Just took off on it. You lose them. You lose the E-clip, you're done. E-clip has a slot in it. Just like this has a slot in it, so you want to more or less line them up. The cable goes through the bottom here, up over the top. Now you got to put this on the side. They are lined up right now. Because the next step, thread this all the way down to make it easy on you. Pull your cable. That means you can thread that one over there on the throttle all the way down. It just makes it easy on life. To hold this spring back and hold the cable so you can put the cable through the bottom of that slot, through the E-clip, and put the spring on top of that E-clip. And now, there you go. See it moving? Alrighty. Then, later on, if it's necessary, which I don't feel this one's necessary, you can adjust the slack out of the cable in case you get other cables. Yeah, some cables have a less, they have too much slack. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's put this on the carburetor, because it's a lot easier to put this line on this carburetor with that cap off than it is to do it after the cap is on. After your carburetor throttle cable is through there, this sucker you know, they could have made it a little bit wider away from there. But this baby really gives you a hard time getting in there some days. Some days it doesn't. I like to put it in now. I wiggle it around until I see it. It'll slowly sink to the bottom. It's just a pain to do. Now, I'll put my throttle cable up in here the way it's supposed to go. Again, the third reason for the slot is there a little needle in here. There's two needles. One is the adjustment needle to put the idle up, and the other one is just a guide needle. It's a guide to guide this flat from spinning around. You gotta find it. You slide it in there. Once the two things gotta happen. The needle goes down into the carburetor here, and then there's a guiding needle to the side on the neck. So that keeps everything in line. Now you got to thread this in here against the spring pressure. And now, let's go like this. You bring this guy, flip it up in the air. And you got to bring this as far back as you can. Well, for me, I'm going to leave it swinging. Let the customer take care of that. This has got to pull in. You get it up this way. It's another thing. This has got to swing up in that direction. There's no bar to tie anything to, so you know, if there was a bar here, you would tie this to that, this to that. But that's the way things are. I tell you what, so I could be a smart ass. I just thought about it when I did this. We're going to put this and this clamp together. See if they hold each other up. Like that, not too tight, just enough to hold each other up. See that? They're holding each other up. Because this cable probably could take a lot more heat than this can. I'm just saying, right? Anyways, we're at the clutch now. I'm going to slip this in here. If the screw is down too far, the cable won't go through. Pull the screw back without pulling it all the way off, and there goes the cable coming in. Now, these motors are very stiff. Julie, you come to inspect? Come on. Are you inspecting? Huh? Come on, inspect it. Give me your opinion. Is it right? Does it look right? Come on. There he is, Chewy. Come in to visit. Do the inspection. Oh, oh. Got allergies, buddy? Yeah, something up your nose, huh? Sorry. A little stretch. Anyways, he comes and visits every bike build, seems like lately. I love it. Oh, I never tightened the doggone screw up. Now I loosened it somewhere. So what we gotta do? Loosen it up. Never tightened it up enough. Hold on this with the clutch open. Bring it in as tight as you can. You can get it a little. You can give this a little turn if you can. You need 3 hands sometimes on this part of it built. And you see him? Did he come in the camera view? He came closer. Like I said, he has a mind of his own. And that's because that's the way we treat our pets or animal friends. They're like human beings, more or less. We allow them their own freedom, their own Anyways, let me lock this up and see if I can turn this sprocket down there. I can. Yep, that turned pretty good. Now release the clutch. I should not be able to turn the sprocket without resisting here. Resisting. Yeah, yep, that sounds like it's compression. I don't know. So, bike build number 1 is done. I will put the chains on every single one of these bikes last, because I'm going to try to rush these builds through. Normally I build one every day, but not this time around. This time around, I'm going for finish this one already and start the next one. Because I told the guy I'd be around this place Sunday.